General Hospital recaps. Michael nearly died. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a nice day. Before we begin the video, please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. In Washington, D.C., Willow received the divorce papers, and she realized this was going to be an ugly custody battle. She called Martin, who was reassuring until she mentioned she was in D.C. with Drew. Willow worried she would cost Drew his congressional seat, but he insisted that wouldn't happen and promised he would be with her no matter what. Michael told Sonny he'd filed divorce papers and admitted he now saw the pattern with Willow being drawn to men who could save her. Jason arrived, and when he and Sonny stepped out to the hall to speak, an explosion ripped through the penthouse, engulfing Michael. Jack joined Carly for dinner, and after she opened up to him about Jocelyn, they heard about the fire and rushed to the hospital. Learning Michael was badly injured, Carly lashed out at Sonny for once again putting their lives in danger. Jack rushed to get Jocelyn, and Lucas asked Isaiah to take the lead because Michael is his nephew. Nina and Curtis were arguing about Willow and Drew when they learned about the fire, and she quickly called her daughter. Willow rushed back and refused Martin's suggestion they file for full custody now, then went to the hospital. Martin advised Nina that Willow still had Michael's medical proxy, which could be useful. At the hospital, Curtis tried to get Drew to leave, but he refused, and after Carly rebuffed his attempts at sympathy, he declared she was to blame for Michael's situation. Alexis and Sonny both consoled Christina. Investigating the explosion, Anna asked Brennan for help from the WSB, because the bomb was specialized. Diane arrived at Nina's with a court order to take Michael's children home. When Willow arrived, Jocelyn tore into her until Nina came to her rescue. When Drew joined them, he suggested using Michael's medical proxy as leverage in the custody battle. As Sonny and Carly asked Jordan and Isaiah about medical options, Willow showed up to declare she would be making the decisions about Michael's care. Meanwhile, Cyrus, having overheard about Michael's injuries, slipped into his hospital room to inject his IV and end his suffering. With Trina's help, Jocelyn packed up Dex's apartment and vented about bringing his killer to justice. While Trina was down at the car, Jocelyn found a gun in a drawer. Meanwhile, Brennan got the satellite footage from the day of the stabbing and recognized Cyrus as the one who attacked Dex. Joss told Trina she wanted to stay in the apartment for a bit, and while reluctant to leave her friend alone, Trina eventually agreed. By herself, Jocelyn examined the gun and began loading it. Brennan gave Joss a list of people in Rice Plaza the day of the stabbing to talk to, and she started with Felicia, who finally realized that Cyrus had stopped ringing his bell while Dex was being stabbed. Lucy welcomed Sidwell as the new owner of Windermere and offered to help introduce him to Port Charles society. He invited her out one night, and she accepted. While eating at Bobby's, she filled him in on the Spencer family and then asked about his past. Sidwell was naturally cagey, but thanked Lucy for helping him settle in. Lucas argued that Liz would never harm a patient, and Portia agreed, but had to suspend her to protect her from being made a scapegoat. Seeing Cyrus talking with Isaiah, Brad blasted the villain for trying to give Britt an overdose, and Lucas interrupted to pull him away. Portia threw Cyrus out of the hospital and told him to stay out. Brooke Lynn cried to her mother about not being able to have a baby and wondered if this was payback for giving up the child she had as a teenager. Meanwhile, Chase opened up to Sasha about it and felt bad Brooke Lynn felt this pressure to have a baby. Jack was annoyed at Colette for overstepping and shooting at Valentine, but she wondered why he wanted to keep the guy alive. Ava met with Rick to discuss getting back her Casadine money, and he attempted to talk to Alexis on her behalf, but she wasn't moved. In an intense and heart-stopping turn of events on General Hospital, Michael Corinthos found himself in a life-threatening situation that left viewers on the edge of their seats. The shocking developments that led to Michael's near-death experience were filled with emotional turmoil, unexpected twists, and high-stakes drama, making it one of the most memorable and suspenseful moments in the soap opera's long-running history. It all began when Michael became embroiled in a series of dangerous situations connected to the power struggles within Port Charles. As the son of Sonny Corinthos, a notorious mob boss, Michael has always been thrust into the chaotic world of organized crime. He has tried to distance himself from his family's criminal enterprise, focusing instead on running the family business and raising his son Wiley. However, as fans of the show know, Michael's attempts to lead a more peaceful life have often been thwarted by the very forces that shaped his upbringing. The trouble started when Michael became involved in a tense dispute over control of the Corinthos organization. A rival faction had been gaining strength, and Michael was caught in the middle of a dangerous power struggle. He tried to play it safe by relying on his business acumen and the support of his loved ones. But the threat against him grew stronger as his enemies realized how much influence he had within the family. The situation escalated quickly when Michael was unexpectedly targeted by a group of armed assailants who had been hired to take him down. A brutal confrontation ensued, leaving Michael seriously injured and on the brink of death. The attack was swift and shocking. Michael had been attending a routine meeting when the gunman ambushed him, leading to a chaotic exchange of gunfire. In the confusion, Michael was shot and left bleeding out in the aftermath. The medical team at General Hospital sprang into action, working tirelessly to stabilize him and keep him alive. Dr. Hamilton Finn, the hospital's chief of staff, led the charge, doing everything in his power to save Michael's life. Finn's expertise, combined with the efforts of the hospital's skilled staff, gave Michael a fighting chance. But it was clear that the road to recovery would be long and uncertain. As Michael fought for his life, his family members rushed to his side. His mother, Carly Corinthos, was beside herself with worry, pacing the halls of the hospital as she waited for updates on her son's condition. Carly has always been fiercely protective of her children, and seeing Michael in such a fragile state was nearly too much for her to bear. She was joined by Sonny, who immediately went into protective mode, determined to find those responsible for the attack and make them pay. Sonny's ties to the criminal world meant that he could move quickly to uncover the truth, but his actions also put him in the crosshairs of the same dangerous individuals who had targeted his son. The emotional weight of the situation was felt by everyone close to Michael. His sister, Christina, and his other loved ones rallied around him, hoping for the best while trying to maintain a sense of normalcy in the face of the crisis. Meanwhile, Michael's wife, Willow, was devastated by the news of his condition. The couple had only recently reconciled after a tumultuous period in their marriage, and Willow was desperate to be by his side as he fought for his life. The tension between hope and fear created a heartbreaking atmosphere at General Hospital, where every moment felt like a lifetime. As Michael's condition remained critical, the hospital staff faced numerous challenges in keeping him stable. The severity of his injuries and the risks of infection were constant concerns, and each day brought new obstacles that threatened his chances of survival. But despite the odds, Michael's family refused to give up on him. They rallied together, offering their love and support, and held on to the hope that he would pull through. Amidst the medical drama, the show also delved into the emotional toll that Michael's near-death experience had on those around him. Carly, in particular, was forced to confront her own fears and regrets. She had always been a strong and independent woman, but watching her son fight for his life brought her to her knees. Carly's vulnerability became a central theme in these episodes, highlighting the complex dynamics of motherhood and the lengths a parent will go to protect their children. In addition to Carly, Sonny's emotional journey was also explored in depth. As a father who has seen his fair share of danger and tragedy, Sonny's protective instincts were heightened, and his desire for justice took on an even greater sense of urgency. The scenes between Sonny and Michael were particularly poignant, showcasing the deep bond between father and son. Despite their differences, they shared a mutual respect and love that was tested by the violence that had been thrust into their lives once again. The hospital waiting room became a hub of activity, with family members and friends coming and going as they tried to offer support and gather information. Each update on Michael's condition brought a new wave of emotion, as his loved ones tried to hold it together while grappling with the possibility that they might lose him. The stakes were incredibly high, and the uncertainty of Michael's fate left everyone on edge. The investigation into the attack on Michael continued. Sonny used his vast network of contacts to dig into the backgrounds of the men who had carried out the ambush, while the police in Port Charles worked to piece together the clues. It soon became clear that Michael's attackers were part of a larger conspiracy, one that threatened not only the Corinthos family, but the entire balance of power in Port Charles. This revelation added a layer of intrigue and suspense to the storyline, as viewers eagerly awaited the truth to be revealed. As Michael's condition improved, the focus shifted to his recovery. His journey back from the brink of death was not easy, and the physical and emotional scars he bore would stay with him for a long time. Michael had always been a resilient character, but the trauma of this near-death experience forced him to reevaluate his life and his priorities. He found himself questioning his role in the family business, wondering if it was worth the price he had paid. His relationships with those closest to him were also tested, as the stress of the situation took its toll on everyone involved. Willow, in particular, struggled with the weight of the crisis. She had always supported Michael, but the trauma of his near-death experience left her grappling with her own fears and doubts. Their relationship was strained, but through it all, they leaned on each other for strength. Willow's devotion to Michael was unwavering, and she became a key pillar of support during his recovery. Their love story took on a new depth as they navigated the challenges of rebuilding their life together. The aftermath of Michael's near-death experience also had ripple effects throughout Port Charles. The power struggle within the Corinthos family intensified, as rival factions jockeyed for control. The threat against Michael was far from over, and the tension continued to build as the investigation into the attack uncovered even darker secrets. The drama surrounding Michael's near-death experience became a catalyst for further conflict, leading to even more twists and turns in the storylines of other beloved characters. As Michael's health improved and he began to recover, he found himself at a crossroads. The ordeal had forced him to confront the realities of the world he lived in and the choices he had made. He couldn't escape the legacy of his family, but he had to decide whether to embrace it or find a new path forward. The journey of self-discovery that Michael embarked on was one of the most compelling aspects of the storyline, as he navigated the complex terrain of family loyalty, personal values, and the pursuit of happiness. The aftermath of the attack also had significant consequences for those involved in the conspiracy against Michael. As the truth was revealed, the characters responsible for orchestrating the attack were exposed, leading to shocking betrayals and dramatic confrontations. The fallout from these revelations rippled through the lives of many residents of Port Charles, further deepening the intrigue and suspense that had captivated audiences. In the end, Michael survived the attack, but the emotional scars would remain. The ordeal had changed him, and the people around him were forever altered by the events that had unfolded. The tension between the Corinthos family and their enemies remained high, and the drama continued to unfold as Michael tried to rebuild his life and find peace amid the chaos. For fans of General Hospital, Michael's near-death experience was a powerful reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring power of family. It was a story that kept viewers hooked, eagerly awaiting each new twist in the ever-evolving drama of Port Charles. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updated news.